Hello, welcome back to Income Trading 101. Today we're just going to take a look at Ethereum. It is Saturday, February the 6th, and since the equity markets are closed on the weekend and crypto don't sleep, I figured I'd go ahead and show a little bit of, or do a little bit of analysis on crypto. So we're going to treat it just the same as we normally do with everything else. I'm going to start off by stretching this timeline out just to get a good look at where we are, where we've been. So looks like June of 16 is as far back as I can go with this. And I haven't even looked up when it began, but you know, back then it was trading super low. Oh my gosh, can you imagine having been able to pick this thing up for, you know, 13 bucks. 11 bucks, 11.93, 12 bucks. I mean, amazing. Anyway, we obviously had the run up in cryptocurrencies back in 2017. Then the hard fall all the way back. I really got into Ethereum at least back in January of 2020. But just before I start to analyze this, just take a little look at the volume. You can see how volume definitely increases when there are significant moves up in the stock. You know, volatility brings more traders to the space, so that's not unusual at all. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this volatility piece because, I'm sorry, the volume piece, not volatility. That was volume at the bottom of the graph, and this will clean our view up a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out. We're just going to look at a 1 year time frame, so kind of February. I remember specifically when we were trading in the $120 range in Ethereum a year ago, and now we're up here 17 over $1,700. It's just unreal. So right off the bat, I can tell you that a Fibonacci retracement is going to be irrelevant to this because we're at all-time highs, so there isn't a retracement that we're looking at. So we're going to look at things like the moving averages for sure, possibly drawing some trend lines, taking a look at what has happened when those have been broken, and let's just dive in. So as usual, we're going to start off with our moving average, and I'm using TradingView as my tool of choice. There are a lot of charting programs out there, so you definitely need to find one that works for you. And if you're interested in TradingView, feel free to click on the link in the description of this video. But just like I do with the equities, I'm going to use a 10 period, a 20, and a 60. Now, the truth of the matter is I could actually alter this because with crypto not closing and staying open 24/7, that means that I should probably use different parameters, maybe a 14-day, a 30-day, and a 90-day. But I'm just going to stick with this for now, just to keep things consistent from one asset class to the next. As you can see, my short term is in green. My longer term is going to be in yellow, or my medium term is in red, and then my long term is in yellow. So you can see that since November, the short term and the medium term have really separated significantly from the 60-day. Right, and in this scenario, 60 days is only a 2-month-long pattern. So look how much has happened in this in this currency just this year in 2021. It's really amazing to see. Definitely still looking like it has more room to go higher. Given that we haven't been in these levels thus far, there really isn't anything, there isn't an upper barrier to look at to say, oh, it's going to stop here. And twice we've seen this thing essentially go parabolic. So, January of 2021, and then honestly this last week, when we broke out of this sort of triangle, and I'll show you the triangle I'm speaking of here. Boom. And then we'll do another one here. So a lot of times when you have a pattern like this, because the lows are getting higher and higher, you're kind of expecting for a breakout day. You don't really know how high, but that was a strong breakout on February 2nd. And it's really continued since then to make this market just really look strong. And it had an amazing week, obviously, from Monday through Friday. I mean, this was really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and this here, the 6th, is today, Saturday. So it's had a really strong 5 days. Looks like it's going to head higher. Let's get rid of this here. And I like to look at it at some different time frames. A lot of times I'm watching this during the day at the 5-minute range, and that's for really short-term trades. But I'm just going to take it down to the 1 hour. And in the 1 hour, you can see, you can get a good idea of how the moving averages change. So, of course, our 10, when you're looking at hourly bars, that's a 10-hour bar, a 20-hour bar, and a 60-hour bar. So when you see, like down here on February 2nd, we had a cross, actually it would have been February, no, it was February the 1st, we had a crossover of the short term, the green and the red. The green stayed above the red, and this thing just rode on higher on that hourly, and then it's crossed a little bit, but what an amazing chart, isn't it? I mean, this is really what dreams are made of. The challenge in trading charts like this is where we're sitting right now. You know we're in all-time highs, and you have to decide, is this something that you want to get involved with or not? Because let's do this. This period here, well, oh, I see. It's just that. Let me try and draw something. If not, I'll just keep going. But, hey, there we go. I want to have a nice, sorry guys, I normally don't have big areas to put arrows and all of that on these charts, but this is really interesting, and I know enough of you are into crypto that I want to make sure that I actually, give this thing some good analysis. So this period here, where we are right now, is difficult because even at the 1 hour level, you're seeing a little bit of chop, and that's okay. It's a Saturday. Let's take it to the 30-minute. 30-minute, of course, is chopped up, and the 5-minute, of course, is going to be a little clearer, but still, we're in the middle of this chopped up time frame. What you really want, go ahead and just delete that. When you expand it back out to the day, though, this still looks extremely bullish. I hate to sound like a broken record or I hate to sound like I'm all the other crypto guys that just are like, oh my God, buy this thing, is going to 15,000. It could, and there are a lot of use cases for Ethereum to support that. But from a technical standpoint, so far on the daily, at least, you're seeing a strong indication of higher prices. You also saw that nice breakout of the triangle that I showed in the beginning. Let's take a look at the MACD. I don't often use MACD for crypto, but I think it'll be interesting to take a look at it nonetheless. So again, I've mentioned before that MACD gets a little harder when it comes to upward trending markets, or just even downward trends, just markets that have a long one-directional trend. But here's what I don't always do on the equity side, and that's we're going to take a look at the MACD in a shorter time horizon, because that will actually give us a little bit more to work with. You can see how back here on January 31st, you had a crossover underneath the 0 line which is a strong buy signal. And sure enough, we came on back up, and there's been interplay since then. The challenge, of course, is when you start seeing these crossovers above the zero line, and that's an indication of time to sell, you know, that arguably, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad day to sell, a bad time frame to sell at least. But that being said, it's been a good week. Even if you had sold here, you were selling near the top of this market thus far. And I repeat, the top thus far, because we may see higher highs this week. Let's take this on out to the 15-minute. So the 15-minute gets a lot more crossover. And you honestly, you have to play with the parameters down here as well, and really make sure that you get some parameters that give that fit well with past data. And remember, when we're using past data and these indicators to, in a sense, predict where price is heading, you don't want to overfit, meaning you don't want to find something, you don't want to make parameters that are so tightly matching the market that you believe all of a sudden that you found the Holy Grail. You don't have the Holy Grail. This, technical analysis is not a Holy Grail, but if it can give you a little more information, then maybe you have a shot at making some money trading. So that's the way I approach it. Always know the limits of your model, and there are a lot of limits to these models, but you can see as you use something like the MACD, it can work in smaller time horizons. So this is a 5-minute chart, and it's given some good indications here. I like this sell signal here, and the beauty of, even if you had looked to buy again with this crossover down below the zero line back on February the 5th, you see how muddled that was. That to me is an indication that it's not time to buy yet. So that's it on the MACD. Like I said, I'm not going to do a Fibonacci for this one. I'm going to swing this back out to the 1 day. I'm not going to do a Fibonacci unless I guess we could take it to a smaller time horizon. But again, when you start looking at smaller time horizons, like let's see if I swing it out to the 1 hour, maybe we start looking at Fibonacci of some of these individual little patterns here, maybe being able to measure what to expect on some of these waves. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Elliott wave, but oftentimes you would grade this up move here, and I'll just make a little. I like making what do you call it? The channels, parallel channels. This would arguably be a wave, an Elliott wave, and this pullback would be a wave, and then you'd have another. Like, when you start analyzing it from that standpoint, that might work. I've never really been as good with Elliott wave because, like, a lot of times you have an A, B, C, D, E pattern, which is like a 5-wave pattern, but there can be sub patterns within those patterns. So it's like an A wave, but there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, like little tinier pullbacks in between. It's just too much for me. But I do find that for me, moving average, Fibonacci analysis, and MACD can handle 90% of the weight, giving me the indications I need. Obviously use some more because there's so many different analysis tools, so it doesn't hurt to have several that you can take a look at, and just to validate and verify that the signal, when I see a signal that is consistent across multiple indicators for the time frame that I'm using to trade, then to me that holds value. So that is it for today's technical analysis of Ethereum. I do think this can go a lot higher. Certainly the 1-day data supports that. It does look like the 5-minute is getting a little chopped up, but again, it's a Saturday. I like Monday through Friday, even though crypto trades 24/7, the majority of the institutional money, which can come in and really push a price higher or lower, the institutions trade Monday through Friday. So in fact, not only Monday through Friday, but in the U.S., it's the 8:30 until 8:30 until 3 p.m. Central Time Zone, 9:30 until 4 p.m. Eastern Time Zone when the equity markets are open as well. One last thing I'm going to do, and I like to do this actually. We're going to swing this back to a 1 day, and we're going to expand it on back out just for the last year. We'll just do 20 to present. We're going to compare a little Bitcoin to this. We're going to overlay it just so you can see that these markets trade in tandem. In fact, they are very much correlated. People look to Ethereum because of its relevance to decentralized finance, which is where a lot of the exceptional opportunities are in cryptocurrency. But Bitcoin is still the gold standard that larger institutions and most like sort of the common retail trader is familiar with. So what happens to Bitcoin is still important to Ethereum, less so on the other end. So that's it. You could tell they sort of trade together in many ways. So it's always good because of that to keep an eye on what's going on with Bitcoin. And sometimes one will be outperforming the other. You might find that with Ethereum, like in the last week or so, you're actually getting a higher percentage move than you would have in Bitcoin. That being said, Bitcoin is still back up to $40,000 right now, a little bit more than 40,000. So it's moving. This is strong for the space. So expect higher prices at this point. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, share it with a friend, leave a comment if you have any questions, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.